Welcome back to Bridging the Divide, the podcast where we explore the untold stories and often overlooked perspectives that shape our history. Today we have a distinct honor of speaking with John Minnie Eagles, a Vietnam War veteran and proud member of the Salish Kootenai tribe here in Montana. John, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Can you tell us a bit about what led you, a young Native American man from Montana, to enlist in the Vietnam War?
That's a question I've carried with me for many years. Life on the reservation back then felt limited, you know? A lot of us young men felt like we were just marking time. So when the talk of Vietnam started getting serious, me and a few of the guys I grew up with went down to the recruitment office. The military seemed like a way out, a chance to see something different, learn a skill. It held this promise of opportunity that felt absent back home. But it wasn't just that. There was also this ingrained idea passed down from my grandfather who fought in the First World War about the warrior spirit and the feeling of needing to protect our land.
You mentioned the warrior spirit. Was there any consideration of a complex relationship between Native Americans and the U.S. government, given the history of broken treaties and displacement?
Absolutely. That was a heavy weight on our minds of many back home. Some couldn't understand why we would fight for a country that has taken so much from us, and they had every right to feel that way. For me, there was a naive hope, maybe, that by showing our courage and loyalty once again, things might change when we returned. That maybe our sacrifices would finally be acknowledged. It's a complicated thing, loving your people and feeling a sense of obligation, even to a nation that hasn't always treated you justly.
You served with the 1st Cavalry Division in the Central Highlands. Can you share a specific memory or experience from your time there that stayed with you?
There are many memories. Some I try to keep buried. But one that often comes back is from a patrol near the Ia Drang Valley. We walked right into an ambush. The jungle exploded around us. The noise, the fear, it was overwhelming. I remember a young white kid, barely a man, from Alabama getting hit. He was calling for his mother. In that moment, all of the differences, the color of our skin, where we came from, it didn't matter. We were just soldiers trying to survive. I remember crawling through the thick brush to get to him, trying to stop the bleeding until the medic arrived. That day, we were all just trying to make it through. That's something you'll never forget. That shared humanity in the face of death.
It sounds like those moments of shared experience transcended the divisions that existed back home. But the transition back to civilian life must have been incredibly challenging. What was your experience like returning to Montana?
Jarring. The world had kept turning, but it felt like I was still in the jungle. Everything felt different, yet the same in a way that was unsettling. There were no parades, no real acknowledgement of what we had been through. Some people looked at us with pity, others with suspicion. It was a lonely feeling.
And the support systems that were in place for returning veterans, did they adequately address the unique needs of Native American veterans?
Not really. The VA was there, but it felt impersonal. They didn't always have enough resources around the reservation, nor did they really understand the specific struggles we faced. We carried not just the trauma of the war, but also the weight of our history, the cultural disconnect. The old ways, the ceremonies that could help heal the spirit, weren't always recognized or understood by the mainstream system.
You mentioned the importance of community and finding other Native veterans. Can you speak more about that support system?
That was crucial. It was the other Native brothers who truly understood what we had been through. We shared a common language, a common heritage, and a common understanding of the spiritual wounds of war. We found strength in our traditions, in our ceremonies. We talked about the spirits that had followed us home, the need for cleansing, for finding balance again. We leaned on each other, and that's what helped us begin to heal.
It sounds like that connection to your culture and to your community was vital in your journey home. Thank you so much for sharing your powerful story with us today. Your experiences shed light on a crucial aspect of American history and the often overlooked contributions and challenges faced by Native American veterans.
Thank you for listening. These stories need to be heard.
That was John Many Eagles, a Vietnam veteran and member of the Salish people. We encourage our listeners to reflect on his words and to seek out more stories from Native American veterans.